Hello, Marianne and Kate gave me a camera, and this is my third try recording some poems on it, so they can be transferred to YouTube and you can watch them entranced. I'm going to read a few poems for some of my grandnieces and a grandnephew. I'm going to read a couple of poems in a form I've grown fond of, Robert Bly's version of the Arabian poetry form, the ghazal, and then a few other poems that'll be about all that you will want to listen to. First poem is for Allie and Christopher's daughter, Eleanor. Eleanor's Eyes. Red Bank Ocean, Bay Bridge Water, mid-morning Mendota, Boston Harbor winter, Sandy Bay in spring, Vltava caressing Prague. Arctic ice and Caribbean wave, October sky and Blue Ridge mountains, New York fog and bluebells, thundercloud and rainbow. Johannes Brahms. Picasso's guitarist, rosemall flowers, emperor's robes, satin blue boy, topaz, sapphire, lapis lazuli, cobalt, cerulean, indigo, navy, Miles Davis playing low. The poem for Amelia and Bobby's son Hudson. Hudson Robert Schmidt, born 5:38 a.m., January 28th, 2013. Your mother looks through the window at January trees and at you as you enjoy your first meal. Just now your cries are angel song for those who waited for you alone to birth you and live together, enjoying life to its distant end. Then what do you have at day's end? Chip-chirp of cardinals and chickadees in the trees, the sound of your family gathered together, eating a hurried meal. For now, your universe is you alone. Soon enough you will choir the song. Did your grandfather sing you a song? I see his smile, music that will not end. He holds you, looks at you alone, not hearing the rain in the trees, nor planning how to cook the next big meal when his whole family gets together. And your grandmother, finally together with you, holds you, swaddled like the baby Jesus in the song. You will see the picture at some birthday meal, and because you might be that age, wish the stories to end. But life's roots pull up ancient water to give its trees the urge to grow, to spread, and choose not to be alone. We are born into families, grandnephew, meant not to be alone, though at times it is a trial to be together. When you begin to walk, go with your parents through the trees of southern Minnesota. Learn each bird's song, and look up at a summer sky that will never end, and know that life on earth is a shared meal. One day I will sit with you at a family meal, prepared by Granddad, but now I'm here alone, rejoicing that our hope has come to this good end, grateful seeing photos of you together with your family, as moving as a Grieg song, lovely as the sight of northern trees. May you grow to climb trees, savor many a meal, sing a song that might be heard by you alone, find joy in each together, each beginning, each end. And for Joe and Adrienne's daughter, Zipporah Cedar Orso, 3:16-13. She floats on wind above the valley, young bird listening as ancient cedar far below tells a silent story. Feathers catch both sunshine and raindrops, open beaks turn common air into song and story. Soft cedar boughs shine, fragrant with spring's slow stirring, flowing a new chapter in earth's story. In the limestone valley the river slips smoothly over ice and stone, engraving a deeper story. The bird descends, circles carefully, lands on soft cedar perch that waves like a gentle story. And the poet looks out on his backyard. A cedar shines in March sun. All share in the story. That was also a form of poetry called a ghazal that I'll read a couple more samples of in a second. Here's a poem, one of the poems I've written for my grandson Silas. It's called Silas Sees the Moon. You walk and talk, you watch and talk, as the moon hides behind buildings and trees. You tell me about the man who drives the moon, how special he must be, while I drive you to your new home, hidden on a side street, like the moon, behind trees, failed dreams, elusive hopes. You want me to stay and play, the train and Play-Doh ready, but I return to the car for the dark drive home in the blue light of the fading moon. A ghazal. Like the last long day of August. He hears Segovia playing remembrance of La Alhambra. The notes sound like a night in August. The modern jazz quartet skates across the ice in Central Park and cools the heat of August. Bach feigned being Lutheran, while his soul flew away in fugues like fireflies over a field in August. The fadista sings her heart. Her soul aches with saudade, anticipating the brutal end of August. You call Borodin's third movement trite, but you cry every time you hear it, since you heard it as a boy in August. Brent, will you sing a song for Silas? Your grandson grows, moves on, like the last long day of August. Like baking bread on Saturday. Leaves lie on autumn lawns, no longer dry but wet with rain, falling staccato all day Saturday. Mums survive the first freeze, putting forth shy bronze and purple, enjoying what may be a last Saturday. The clouds lack any detail, gray and low they hang and pass slowly, like an autumn Saturday. Red-headed woodpecker picking through birdseed, its special treat for Saturday. Julian Bream plays a Bach chaconne on an old LP that is reliable like sleeping in on Saturday. And you sit by the window, kneading lines in a new poem, like baking bread on Saturday. Poem, the title is Reading Bly in the Waiting Room, an epigraph. There is no end to our grumbling. We want comfortable earth and sumptuous heaven. Robert Bly. The pine arm of the chair curves gently like the earth. I rest against it and read. Here we are, waiting, glancing cautiously at each other, listening to hear our names called. The poet reminds me that herons stand patiently on one leg in muddy ponds, while the earth turns, returns, again from winter to winter, and waits patiently for us. Ask questions today. What is mortality? What is contentment? I'm in a group of poets we met last summer in Iowa City, and we've kept in touch. We give each other assignments. We take turns. My turn was last month, the month of March, and the challenge was to write a poem or poems using any style you want on the theme 17 minutes. I had fun with it. I will read you some of those. I wrote 5 tankas. It's a Japanese form, sort of like the poem the style I can't think of now. That's really miserably treated. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 7 syllables in a 5-line poem. So here they go. Tankas on 17 minutes. 17 minutes, he's waited for the Greyhound, smoked 2 cigarettes quickly before she arrived, sanitized his breath with mints. Second one. You look at your clock. 17 minutes past 3. Full moon lights your room. Waiting for reluctant sleep, you think about your future. The third. How long does it take to write a resignation? 17 minutes. A life of careful living. A moment of frustration. Fourth. You had a glad day. Exploring the green valley, gazing from the bluff, and for 17 minutes you napped under an oak tree. And finally, all great mystics know, do not plumb eternity, but learn how to be open to the wonder of the next 17 minutes. A cinquain, a 5-line poem. The first line has 2 syllables, the second 4, the third 6, the fourth 8, and the last 2. Changes are possible. In 17 minutes, flour, yeast, water become dough, rising. Planning tonight's dinner only distracted me 17 minutes more or less at work. And then finally, a poem in the form of a quatrain, where the first line of the first stanza becomes the second line of the second, the third of the fourth, and the fourth of the fourth. A quatrain about 17 minutes. It takes 17 minutes to get there, from front door to schoolyard. A daily walk dad and daughter share, a downhill walk, not hard. Traffic passes them on Regent Street. It takes 17 minutes to get there. Brief words muffled by the traffic's beat, hand in hand in warm paternal care. The wind stirs her bright blonde hair as they rustle through the fall oak leaves. It takes 17 minutes to get there, to a time each father expects, but grieves. She drops his hand, and will hold it no more, to let him know she needs no childish care. To growing up from the house's door, it took 17 minutes to get there. All the poetry for now. Thank you for listening.